The QPod is the first fully integrated, forward-facing wheelchair securement station specifically designed and tested for transit wheelchair passenger transportation. Proudly meeting Buy America and ADA compliant, QPod technology is available through all major seating companies. The universal design allows it to secure virtually all styles of wheelchairs, including scooters and other difficult mobility devices. And its simplified operation allows for quicker securement times, reduced vehicle dwell time, and, most importantly, increased passenger safety. Prior to securement, ensure the flip seats are in the stowage position. Connect the shoulder belt to the wall side lap belt connector, and stow the combined belts on the pin connector on the underside of the flip seat. Because the QPod eliminates floor obstructions, the operator can easily guide the mobility device into the securement area, ensuring it gently contacts the stabilizing bumper. Next, pull the express paddle handle on the barrier to release the rear retractors. This allows the operator 15 seconds of freehand operation to attach the rear retractor J-hooks to a solid frame member on the mobility device. After attaching the rear retractors, back the mobility device into its final position. Next, we move to the front of the securement system. Taking an inside-out path, attach the hook and the scooter ring around the front steering column on the scooter, ensuring the hook remains open and away from the column. For a wheelchair, simply attach the J-hook to a solid frame member. To tension, release the handle via the yellow trigger and simply pull downward until the unlocked indicator disappears. Ideally, the wheelchair should be in contact with the bumper. Now that the wheelchair is secured, always be sure to lock the wheels or turn the power off on an electric wheelchair. To secure the passenger, simply take the aisle side lap belt through the mobility device, remove the wall side lap belt and shoulder belt from the pin connector, and buckle at the passenger's hip. For mobility devices where armrests or frame members prevent the use of this method, it is also possible to route each component of the occupant restraint separately through the mobility device to ensure proper belt placement. When releasing the passenger and the mobility device, in general, you're going to reverse the steps. First, disconnect the wall side lap belt and the shoulder belt from the aisle side buckle. Then return the aisle side belt to the barrier. If necessary, the aisle side belt can be released via the barrier integrated occupant release button. To remove the front tie down, press the trigger to release the tension and return the handle to stowage. This will release the retractor and allow you to remove the J-hook from the mobility device. The yellow unlocked indicator will appear, showing that the tension has been released. Next, turn the power on or unlock the brakes of the mobility device. Pull the express paddle handle, releasing the rear securement for 15 seconds, and move the wheelchair forward. Then remove the J-hooks from the mobility device and return them to their stowage position on the barrier. The access panel allows the barrier and its components to be easily serviced and maintained. The paddle handle is cable driven. In the event of an electrical issue, the system will never be down. You simply operate the paddle handle manually. The QPod is proud to be the new technology standard for forward-facing wheelchair securement. And as the proven and trusted solution for transit agencies everywhere, QPod sets the latest standard. You may never be able to count how many accidents were avoided or how many dollars and dwell time was saved, but you can count on the QPod. Attach the J-hook to a solid frame member on the mobility device. For a scooter, take an inside-out path and attach the hook and the scooter ring around the front steering column, ensuring that the hook remains open and away from the column. The front tensioner is designed to be effortless. To tension, press down gently on the tensioner, bringing the mobility device slightly closer to the bumper. It's important not to over-tension. The rear retractors are self-tensioning and will take up any additional slack in the webbing during the trip. To remove the front tie-down, pull the tensioner slightly downward and rotate the handle. Then return the tensioner to the vertical position. This will release the tension and allow you to remove the J-hook from the mobility device.